Okay, so find yourself in a tall, supported feeling seat. Whatever that looks like is fine. It really doesn't matter. But I do recommend if you're used to crossing your legs somewhere, maybe practice not doing that for now. So uncross at the knees or the ankles and see if you can position like your feet in line with your knees, knees in line with your hips, shoulders stacked on your hips, and even imagine stacking your head on your spine. Okay, so that's why I normally indicate let the chin come down and back slightly. It's also in an effort to elongate through the neck and to bring the weight of the head and the skull onto the spine, which of course is designed to support it, not just to help you move your appendages, but also to support the weight of the head, which is quite heavy. And then let your gaze go forward and slightly down. You can lower your eyelids halfway or all the way, whatever's most comfortable. You might roll your shoulders once or twice to help your shoulders melt away from your earlobes. And next time they're down, keep them down. Keep your elbows bent, hands are resting on something. In particular, I really enjoy one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest, especially if I'm having trouble tuning in and paying attention to my body at a certain moment. And then separate yourself mentally from what you were doing and come fully now into what you are doing. And start to ground and center yourself by becoming aware of everything that you see, whether your eyes are open or shut. Notice the lights and the shadows and shapes and colors. Notice your orientation in the room. Notice the noises around you besides my voice. Notice the air around your body, your own personal bubble. And get a sense not just what's immediately in front of you, but also what's to the sides of your body and what's immediately behind your body. Notice where air touches your skin versus clothing covering your skin. Push into your feet in your seat. Notice where you feel pressure from underneath you. And then notice your breath without changing it and sense that pressure from within you. Watch your breathing, one or two more rounds. Just becoming aware and familiar with your breath as it is. And then if you choose, you could engage a little more by drawing the breath lower and deeper into your belly than you normally do. And exhaling a little longer and slower than you normally do. Don't force it. Just start to allow the breath to become deeper and wider and slower. For some people, it's really helpful to imagine a cup of water. And when you drink in, or when you breathe in, excuse me, you fill the cup from the bottom to the top, just like a full glass of water. And then when you exhale, you're drinking the water and it disappears from the top to the bottom. So if that helps imagery or hands on your body, just keep noticing that fullness feeling. It doesn't have to feel good. It might actually be uncomfortable or strange, but notice what it does feel like and where and how that changes as your breath comes in and out. Finish the round that you're on. And then return to your passive natural breath and notice anything left over. And if you have your hands on your body somewhere, you might release them so your arms and shoulders can rest. And take inventory. Notice your shesha. That means the echo or the remaining thing. Good. And if you choose to move, go ahead and open your eyes. Take in the room around you again a little bit. It might look kind of different. That's normal. And scoot forward more towards the edge of your seat so you have more room behind you and to the sides of your body. And again, putting your feet underneath your knees, knees in line with your hips, shoulders on top of your hips, kind of stacking yourself in this way should allow you to feel like you can push into your feet a little more. And when you do that, push into your toes and your heels, right? Squeeze the muscles on your legs onto your bones. And you might already feel it in your abdomen, but if not, consciously now pull in and up on the belly organs, pull in and up on the pelvis. Okay, everything from the waist down is squeezing and pushing up to allow you to feel more lightweight and erect from the waist up. Good. And try to stay as long as you can, even as we're bending side to side and twisting and doing all these weird bending movements. Still imagining length through the spine and keeping everything in line will encourage alignment and more rest and more strength where you need it. So inhale, get taller through the crown of your head. And exhale, simply let the right ear come towards the right shoulder. Just the weight of the head tilting over. Shoulders stay down. Option, if you like, you could reach away with your left fingertips. You could bend that elbow or straighten it, palm up or down. Maybe if you're moving, you're just looking for a sensation that's interesting. And then when you're ready to breathe in again, slowly come through the center and exhale at your own cadence to the other side. Same thing, freedom to explore, to move, or to be still. Noticing your body and your breath. Next time you breathe in, come back through the center. Exhale, look to the right. So turn your whole face towards that side of the room and pretend there's a marker on your nose so you can draw circles. And they can be big or small. They can be so small you're barely moving or not moving. That's good yoga. Or they might be really big. And switch directions if you haven't already. Just move slower and mindful. Notice if your eyebrows or your jaw get recruited to help you in this motion. And you might soften and smooth out the forehead again. When you're ready, inhale to the center, head stacks on the spine, and then exhale to the other side. Keep pushing into your foundation, keep pulling in and up on your belly and your pelvis. And draw your circles the other way if you're moving. When you're ready to inhale next time, come all the way back through the center and then exhale, tuck your chin down towards your chest. You might, like if you're like my body today, feel a lot there and that's fine. Stay there. Or you might kind of shift your chin towards the right and then towards the left. If you're moving, do so slowly and carefully, please. Keep yourself lifted and tall all the way through the upper spine as well. It might help to squeeze your shoulders behind you slightly to give you a feeling of more support in the upper spine. Try to do the same amount of turns to each side if you're moving, and then pause in the center with your chin still tucked down. Really actively pull the shoulders down away from your ears. Stay here and breathe big into the top of your back and into the shoulders. Good. When you're ready, push into the floor in your chair. Inhale, bring your head to face forward again. Okay. And let your hands come down by your sides. You can give them a wiggle if you want. What do you call it? Jazz hands? Whatever you want. Good. And then we'll start our 6 spinal actions as well. But first, let's do just some side dynamic breathing to help synchronize the breath and the movement together. So next time you inhale, reach all the way around and maybe up. If you lift your hands up over your shoulders, then really actively reach your shoulder girdle up good towards your earlobes. Some bodies like to look up too at the top. And then when you exhale, bring everything down. And then if you looked up, you might slowly transition your gaze to go down towards your lap and the floor. Try this a few times. Inhaling, don't reach the top till your lungs are full. And then exhaling, don't reach the bottom till your lungs are totally empty. Try to match them up together as perfectly as you can, keeping in mind that it's normal that they're not matching up. That's why we have to practice, right? So don't give yourself a hard time if it's difficult. One more up and down. Take your time. Finish the round that you're on, and then come to rest with your hands on your knees. And now we'll do cat and cow. So on your inhale, bring your belly forward, your chest comes forward and up, maybe eyebrows lift, eyeballs can lift, maybe your nose even reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, round your shoulders behind you, pull your belly button in towards your spine, and let your head get heavy at the end, looking down. Back and forth now at your own pace. Inhale, cow pose, like that big slump on a cow in a field. Exhale, cat pose, really big round arc in the spine like a black cat on Halloween. Good. Again, matching up your movement with your breath as best you can. That might mean consciously slowing down the movement or speeding up the movement so they match closer, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You have the freedom, as usual, to stop anywhere and pause for a breath or two if it feels good or interesting or just like something you need. You can wiggle side to side. Instead, you can do something I didn't mention. Whatever you're doing, complete the round that you are on. And then meet me back in a neutral tall spine. Take a breath here in neutral. Notice what's left over. Let your hands come down from your shoulders, looking ahead and slightly down. Good. And identify your right hand. Next time you breathe in, reach your right arm either out to shoulder height or above shoulder height. If it comes above shoulder height, lift the shoulder up away from your hip. Good. Stay here for a breath and consciously reach the arms apart in opposite directions from each other, imagining that they don't start at the shoulders, that your arms start at the center of your chest. So see if you can simultaneously open the front of your chest and imagine reaching out of your fingertips from your heart. Good. Next time you breathe in, get longer, take up more space. Exhale, lean over a little bit or a lot of it to the left. Let your fingertips either reach for the floor, they could touch a block if you're at home. You can rest your hand on your lap. I'm sometimes too like to reach my left hand across to the opposite knee and kind of grab onto my pants or my knee, and it makes me feel like I can kind of lean and use my arm for safety and hang a little bit more. It drives sensation into a different part of the low back. Last breath here. Create as much rounded feeling as you can in the side of the rib cage. And then before you come up, push into the feet, belly in and up, then inhale to lift. And exhale to lower your hand. Take a breath in neutral, like a glass of water, fill it from the bottom to the top. Exhale, notice what's left over so far. And then we'll do the other side. So arms are dangling. Notice your left hand this time. And when you're ready, inhale, lift it to any angle or degree. You might try what you did on the other side, but don't force it. Really get big, 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 take up a lot of space. And then when you're ready, exhale, lean over to the right. Arms really can be in whatever configuration you want. And remember, you can take the hands out of the equation. You can put your arm on top, lower it, and put it behind the small of your back, and just focus on creating that huge curved feeling in the side of the ribs. Heart is open to the front, face is soft, still pushing into the feet, still belly in and up, still breathing. Last round here. And then with control and grace, inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, lower your hands down by your sides. You can rest them on your lap, on the arms of your chair. Just take a breath here and notice what's left over. Good. Inhale, bring your arms out to a T shape. And exhale, twist to the right, squeezing the belly. Imagining the arms are coming straight out of the center of your chest instead of using them to like crank yourself further. Good. Either stay or lower your arms to just hold you in place. In either case, whatever you chose, inhale, look for more length through the top of your skull. Exhale, squeeze your belly more. And do a little experiment with me here. Stay where you are, but bring your nose in line with your heart so that they're facing the same direction. And then push your head back in space a little bit, so chin down and back so you get longer through the back of your neck. And then if you choose, you can look over your back shoulder. Stay for a breath. Last breath here. Inhale, head unwinds first, and then the rest of your body follows. Exhale, let your arms come down. Take a breath in between. Notice what's left over. And then other side as you're ready. Inhale, arms out to the sides, like your wings, straight from the center of your chest. Don't reach the arms first. Just exhale, twist your body to the left. Head back, so you're long through the spine. Remember, you have the option to remove the arms from the equation, or you can keep the arms out. Maybe you look over your back shoulder. Take a breath or two here. Each time you inhale, you get longer from the tail to the crown. Each time you exhale, get that last drip of water out of a washcloth through the center of your body. Yeah. And then when you're ready, push into your feet. Inhale all the way back to center. And exhale, lower your arms down. Take a breath in between. Notice what's left over. Good. Take your hands behind the seat so they're behind your hips or your buttocks. I like to kind of hold on to the sides, but some bodies are comfortable turning the fingertips away from the body and pushing more into the palms of the hands. It just makes me feel like I'm really arching more than I need to, so I prefer to keep the hands out to the side a little bit. Good. So we're doing a counter typing movement here. So when we're typing, we're hunching forward, we're clicking, we're looking forward, right? In this position, I really want you to imagine opening the front of the body and the chest, maybe even tilting the chest forward more to exaggerate that feeling. Maybe your eyebrows lift, eyeballs can lift, nose can lift, but don't crunch the back of your neck. Lift your head up off your shoulders. Push into your hands. Stay and breathe. It doesn't have to be super deep, but keep your breath moving in and out for one more round. Good. And then on your inhale, come back to the center, stack your head on top of your chest, release your arms and let them rest on your lap. If you get lightheaded, that's normal. Tuck your chin down towards your chest. Good. And then take your hands in front of you and rub them together to make some friction and heat. And carefully cup your hands around your eyes. Cup your hands around your ears. Cup your hands in front of your mouth so you can breathe in and out and notice the sensations. Good. Lower your hands down to your lap again. Look forward again. And carefully scoot forward to the back of your chair so you feel like something is supporting you fully from underneath and from behind. I don't want you to like lean all the way back though. I want you to feel lifted still, but just more supported from behind. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let your gaze go forward. We're going to try a pranayama technique called box breathing today. It's really simple and straightforward, but that doesn't mean it's easy. So I'll explain it to you and then I'll guide you through a few rounds and then I'll just give you some silence so you can practice it on your own. Important to note here that I'm going to be counting, but that's just so you get used to the rhythm. When I go into silence, you can do whatever cadence works for you. So if I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, but you need 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, right? You need to go at your own pace. The counting is just a way to help focus and anchor the mind and the attention on the breath, right? It's like a mental way to focus on a physical sensation because there's lots of distractions that are going to be tempting and pulling you away, like noises or thoughts. So the counting helps you mentally stay in the moment, so to speak. Okay, that's enough. So box breathing, you can imagine a square or a box, right? Even on all 4 sides. So a breath in yoga is 4 pieces, not 2. It's not an inhale and an exhale. It's an inhale, a pause, an exhale, and a pause. Some people inhale to 4, they pause for a second, and they exhale to 4, and they pause for a second. Some people inhale to 4, they pause for 4, they exhale 4, they pause for 4. So this is a way to explore yours and to create more balance and evenness in your ratios. So it looks like this. You come into a tall spine, you relax your face and the muscles around your breathing body. So relax the muscles around your nose and your mouth and your jaw. You might even swallow. And then in your mind, begin to count your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top of the inhale. Count how long that takes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue at your own pace, doing your best to simply monitor and allow the ratios to get closer and closer to the same number. Continue. If you've been pulled away by a distraction, come back to your breath. Maybe you increase your count to 5 now. Finish the round that you're on. And then practice one more. When you're ready, return to your natural passive breath and notice what's left over. Especially notice any stories or judgment left over. And remind yourself that these are just practices. They don't mean anything about you. Good. I'll invite you to bring your hands together in like a prayer-like position with your hands touching the center of your chest, or you can stack your hands, whatever's most comfortable. And bow your head down towards your heart and your hands. My teacher says that this is bowing down to the wisdom below the brain. And this motion is in gratitude of yourself. So as best you can, give yourself a sincere thank you just for carving out the time and showing up. We all know that's the hard part. Everything else is just a bonus. And remember, you have a body, but you're not just your body. You have a mind, but you're not just your thoughts. And you have emotions, but you're not just your feelings. When you're ready, let your hands come down. Your eyes can flutter open and up. Class is over. Thank you for coming. I'll stop the recording. If you have any questions or concerns, you can ask me now or email me later.